Hello again, everyone. Welcome back to Adventures in Arcane Space. James is running a little bit late, but he should be here in just a few minutes. The next segment that we're going to be working on, though, is involving other characters, so it shouldn't be too much of a problem. Before we jump off, just wanted to make a quick note that 2 hours after we end at 6 p.m. Eastern, my friend and fellow Let's Player Zerfall is doing a charity stream for about 12 hours. I will have a video on my channel when that starts up, and I'll be joining him. So if you guys have, time or interest, head on over to that. Anyway, let's go ahead and get right back into it. In the last episode, you guys, well, you kind of angered a merchant. A little bit.
Kind of. A little bit.
A little bit.
We'd never do that.
Oh, no. It was totally innocent. Yeah.
But they've angered Ockar. They've made a grievous mistake.
They insulted Ockar.
Okay, I'm here.
Oh, hey.
See?
I thought it'd be a few more minutes.
Just speaking about you.
I was already like 5 minutes away from my house when I made that message.
Oh, excellent. Well, in that case, just as a reminder to everyone watching, let's go through and just do a quick, reintroduction of the characters. It's probably something that we should do at the beginning of each episode, just so that, people can better associate voices with characters. So we'll go ahead and do it in Discord order.
Hi. I'm playing Corporal Higgimus. My name is Asher.
And you are a...
Oh, I am a Giff.
fighter.
Giff fighter.
Yeah. Alright.
Is it me next?
Yep.
Because I can't see myself in the order.
Oh, yeah.
I can only see everyone else. I'm Big Mac, or David Shepherd. I'm playing Braxon Miak. He's a human, and he comes from one of the farming asteroids near to Brow, and he's gone to Brow to make his fortune.
Leva?
Okay, I'm Elef, or Levalithana, or Leva for short. And I am a wild mage, and I'm looking for signs of my birth parents,
I think that's about
the
enough.
inheritance of my ex. Oh no,
Yeah, I think
Sorry?
I think mostly just name, class, and race.
okay. Levi is an elf.
All right, next up.
I am G-Man. I play Yeldin Sharpeye. He's a elf ranger.
I'm James. Don't really want to go through the full name because I just made it up on the spot when making Discord.
Fine.
Just call me James. I play Ockar, human paladin of Tyr.
And I would be Zakad, who's playing Lafdul, mischiefmaker, thief of Elevin Elysia. Everin.
All right. Yeah, I just kind of want to get the quick reintroduction of characters. I think at the beginning of sessions, just a minute or two to refresh viewers of who the characters are and everything like that. Just to more easily associate voices with the characters.
Mm.
All right, so where we left off, Higgimus, Ockar, and Lafdul had gone to the Temple of Tyr, and the priest there had communed and gotten them some pretty good information, quite a few answers that they asked. And now we're moving on to Braxon, Leva, and Yeldin. you were going to visit the Watch and then the Underwriters.
Do we already know what the others talked about and the
No.
answers they got?
No, you don't.
No.
Okay.
That's fine. But we got the document.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Let's head over to the Watch and see if we can
Indeed.
seeing if we can get in touch with Deroth.
Let me see. I still have the copied half of the slip of paper and the original plus the copy of the second slip of paper, correct?
Yeah. We're going to pick up Deroth and we're going to take Deroth to the Underwriter if he's available.
Okay. How are you gonna convince him to do that? I mean,
We're going to have a chat with him.
Yes.
All right.
I tell him that we found something more that might help with decoding that particular paper. Actually, thinking back.
No, let's not tell him about the other bit. Let's tell him that there's someone we want him to meet, because the underwriter that I spoke with, that I can't remember who of you came with me before, but the underwriter that I spoke to with some other people.
You went by yourself.
I wasn't by myself, no.
Yes, you were.
I was. Okay. The underwriter I spoke to before is an expert, and he will understand this document. More importantly, he understands what they have claimed to have lost. So he can let Deroth know in expert terms whether there's skullduggery going on.
Okay, yes, sounds good.
okay. So you make your way to the Brawl Watch, and unfortunately, it looks like Deroth is quite busy with something. He waves you in and says, "Hold on a minute. I'm looking over something." Takes about 5 minutes. He's seems to be reading over something and writing on another piece of paper hurriedly, and then waves in one of his, one of the regular watchmen, and hands him a slip of paper. And then looks to you. He seems harried about something. You're not sure what. And he says, "Yes. What can I do for you today again?"
There's a gentleman that I'd like you to meet. I went and found an underwriter before for the company that underwrites the insurance for the ship that went missing, and I believe that he'll be able to interpret that document that Levy gave you and decipher whether there's any wrongdoings going on.
Go ahead.
Leva looks at him and sees that he is nervous or harried about something and says, "Are you feeling all right? Is there anything we can do to help?"
No. Just another issue. It looks like they found the remains of the paper wasp, or at least some portion of it, and they're trying to get we're just trying to get some things in order. It's nothing you need to be concerned about. Now, you said that someone, an expert, an underwriter with this document that you discovered in the warehouse. I'm not sure that I can get away. I could send one of my guardsmen with you if that would be okay.
Okay. Would he be able to interpret the information for you?
Basically, yes.
Okay. So if we find anything bad happening, would he be able to bring the document we gave to you?
Oh, yes. Let me get that. He turns to a cabinet and rifles through some folders and pulls it out and hands it to you. Ah, here it is. Here you go. Actually, I'll need to ensure that it stays with us.
Yeah.
He waves in one of the guardsmen and says, I need you to find Alx. He's going to be... I need him to go with these adventurers to an underwriter. Sir, yes, sir. And the guardsman rushes off. A few moments later, another young guardsman comes in. He isn't armored like the others. It looks like he's probably maybe more of a administrative type position. You see some ink smudges on the edges of his sleeves. Sir, yes, you summoned me? Duroth hands him the slip of paper and he says, this is related to an incident that we discussed yesterday. Actually, is this supposed to be the next day? I can't remember. Let me see.
It's supposed to be the same day.
Same day? Alright, sorry. This is related to the incident we discussed earlier. I need you to go with these adventurers. They're going to be discussing with someone who can maybe shed some light on the issue that we discussed. I'd be more than happy to, sir. I'll relay what we discover and return post-haste. And he's ready to follow you now that he has the slip of paper.
Pleased to meet you, Orcs. My name's Braxon.
He shakes your hand.
Yeah, this is Liver, and who else was with us?
Yeldin.
Yeldin. This is Yeldin.
All right.
My hand, kind of.
You're gonna head to the underwriters now.
Yeah, let's head off to the underwriter.
All right. It doesn't take you too long to get there. And the underwriter was Galdaster of Brawl.
Golduster.
He welcomes you into his office after you mention to his secretary what this is related to.
I knew you'd give him a name eventually. Pleased to meet you again, Golduster.
No problem. Please, have a seat. Is this related to the issue we discussed the other day?
It is, yes. I've got a couple of my companions with me. This is Lever, and this is Yeldin. And this gentleman here is from the Watch. He's Alx. We discovered a document which relates to the ship, which we think might indicate some discrepancies in what was reported as missing to you. So we'd like you to have a look over it, if you could.
All right. Are you gonna hand him your half of the paper, or just the copy, and then have Alx hand his half? How exactly are you gonna do that?
That's good.
I think first we start. We give him the copies and tell him that if he needs them, then he can have a look at the originals, but he's not allowed to keep them.
All right. Well, Alx will give him the half that he has, so that he knows that this isn't just something made up. I mean, if you just gave him a sheet of paper that was a hand copy of something else, they'd kind of look at that as, this could be anything.
Well, in that case, I
let's give him the
pass
original.
the original to him and say this is the other half. And but again, don't keep it. We have copy here if you really need one.
As Alx is handing over his half, he raises an eyebrow. He was entirely unaware that you guys had the other half, or that there was even another half to be had. But he doesn't say anything. Galdaster takes them, fits them together, and starts reading over. And you hear him.
Yeah. So it's one document, but it's been torn in half. We discovered half when we were with the watch, and we discovered the other half a bit later.
He nods slowly as he's reading it over, and then he puts it down on his desk and says, let me just check my records. He turns around to a cabinet behind him and starts rifling through some boxes and folders and drawers till he finds what he's looking for. Pulls it out and lays it down next to what you handed him. And he says, yes, definitely discrepancies. This is indicating it's the same ship for the same trip, but this is not what we were informed was on it. The materials on the ship are significantly less valuable than what was claimed. Well, this is certainly strong evidence that there is some fraud going on. I'm not sure that it's quite enough to get our payout back, but it certainly will be enough to terminate our future dealings with House Torlin. Do you have any other information? I mean, they may just claim that this is a clerical error.
They might do. I think it might be worth you not formally terminating your relationship at the moment, but perhaps having a bit of slowness in any responses for claims.
Okay, yeah.
If we can actually uncover. See, what we don't know at the moment is we don't know whether they've genuinely been attacked and have taken advantage of the situation by increasing their claim, or whether this is all a scam. But they've been fairly uncooperative with us in our investigations, finding out about the attacks, and we are still considering one of the options being that they've scuttled their own ship.
I've always found them to be quite cooperative. That is certainly strange.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we're not definitely sure either way, because if you had a company, or you had an employee in the company, not necessarily the company itself, it could be whoever does their books, doing something dodgy. That's not the same as someone actually setting out to defraud the insurance company, is it?
Oh, that is true. We could definitely slow down any future dealings. Now, you said you had a copy of these two pieces. Could I have one of those?
Yeah, let's give him the copy.
Okay. He takes the copy, looks over it just to make sure that it's showing the information. He says, now, this copy won't hold up if we have to go before the magistrate, but it certainly is enough for me to settle any qualms with my backers. Now,
I suggest that we give the second half to the watch as well, because now that he knows about it and the watch knows about it, there's no reason for us to keep it, I don't think.
Yeah, we can give it to Alks.
Okay.
Yes.
Alks seems like he wants to ask you something about it, but then maybe he thinks better of it. And he takes it along with the first copy. The first half. And then he says, now, I'm not sure that this would be enough to warrant further investigation, since we did already have guards visit their warehouse. Do you have any further evidence?
Well, I think the only place we'll find further evidence is on the supposed giant Scavver that's attacking ships, which I don't think it is giant Scavver personally.
No, we're suspecting that it's a ship disguised as a Scavver at the moment.
He nods.
We'd have to go back into the warehouse.
No, we don't.
Or if we wanted more evidence.
We'll just get into trouble if we go back in the warehouse.
That's
They're-
what
they're-
I'm saying. That we've been asked, so that's one of the answers. We'd have to go back to the warehouse to collect more evidence if you'd need more evidence, but we probably won't be able to get in now.
He nods at this and says, well, if you do happen to come across any more evidence, please do turn it into us.
Yes, of course.
There's no way you could help us get back in?
Like I said, I think the best place we're going to find more evidence is on that so-called Scavver.
In response to the question about getting back in, Alex he says, that's above me. I can't make those decisions.
Yeah.
And like they said, they don't have enough evidence.
Yeah, we'd have to go to the magistrate, and the magistrate would have to give the watch orders to go in.
Yeah. I mean, that's something that you could certainly try to do. But that's, it's kind of up to you.
We already caused enough of a stir. If we try to force our way any more into the...
Well, I also think we got into the warehouse in a timely manner. Now we've left, they have time to get rid of any evidence, and I think they will do.
Mm-hmm. That's another point.
So by the time we get permission from the magistrate for the watch to go in, what we're looking for might be gone, and then they'll just be complaining about us more. So I think we've got some useful information from the underwriter, and Alex can report that back to the watch, and hopefully the watch can keep an eye out of what's occurring around the warehouse.
Only limited, as I remember, we sort of agreed to let the whole case just drop.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Alex will take his leave from you then. I
was planning on walking back to the watch with him.
Oh, okay.
Partly because we don't want him being mugged and having the document stolen.
All right.
And partly so I can thank him for taking the other document from us.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I also asked Alex, what's happened that the watch seems to be so harried? Did something else happen, or what happened?
Something, did you not listen? They found part of the paper watch, which is kind of interesting to us, but...
Yeah,
well,
he elaborates on that and says that they actually found the body of the captain and a few pieces of debris.
That's not good.
And I actually wrote down the captain's name this time. Let me see, where did I go? Carthol Ulmard was the captain. And Braxon, you remember he was celebrated a few years back, 3 to 4, give or take, for sinking a notorious pirate who had been plaguing the local space for a good 6 months. The pirate was named Drake Brovidar, and there had actually been apparently, everyone was talking about this back at the time, a pretty impressive fight between the captain of the Paper Wasp, on the Paper Wasp, that was his ship at the time, and the pirate ship Night Fury, which was substantially larger. It was a squid ship, and Captain Ulmard apparently managed to get the Night Fury into a battle that caused him to crash into. It's a little bit mixed on exactly what it was. Some say it was a murderoid. Some say it was just a regular asteroid. But everyone believes that the pirate and his ship was completely destroyed in that fight, and it was especially impressive because the squid ship, way outclasses a wasp.
Mhm.
What does a squid ship look like again? Do we have that still?
I don't think that I have a picture of that up.
You did at one point, because that was the first dungeon, basically.
No, that was a cuddle
No.
command.
Oh, that was the cuddle command. My
Yeah.
bad.
There's
can-
actually a lot of different squid and octopus-looking type ships
Yeah.
in this game.
Yeah.
I think I
Generally, those are also ships that are run by illithids.
I think I can make one. Give me just a second.
Actually, a lot of them aren't.
Well, the squid ship is not. That's a human ship. The octopus was a very brief collab, so to speak.
Cuddle command.
So that's a squid ship.
Okay, so it's a ramming ship.
Yeah. But it's twice as over twice as big as a wasp in terms of hull points and everything like that.
Would you say it's about 200 feet long?
I don't remember. I'd have to go look it up. I mean, there's a lot there's a lot of unused length in that, but
I would say it was 250 feet long.
are you looking that up?
I was just thinking out loud about, because my character wouldn't know this, so I'm not gonna say anything. But
That's the standard size one. Yeah, I've got the ship card.
Okay. You got your Spelljammer material on hand. Nice.
Well, no, Google found it for me.
Oh, cheater. All right, but yeah,
But
isn't that what Google's for?
totally. Yeah, that's a squid ship, and it far outclasses a wasp. Normally, you would want multiple wasps going up against a squid ship. But Braxon, you can relay that to the rest of the party, kind of thing.
Yeah. So basically, it's a lot bigger than our ship. So if we encounter the ship like that big, we might want to run away from them, or we'd certainly want to stay away from the ram at the front.
Yeah. Or just say, screw it all, board it.
Yeah.
Go in hard, fast, jump aboard, fight them.
Yeah. I mean, certainly if we could board a ship like that, then you'd have to get to the helmsman and throw them off the helm.
Yeah.
And then you've got the ship disabled. And then you've got to fight against the crew. But they probably have more crew than us.
Do you know where the helm is usually on that kind of ship? I'm thinking, depending on how long and big it is, it might be the ship that's being the type of ship that's being disguised as a Scavver.
It could be.
Probably in the
it
aft
could well
castle.
be. It could well be.
All right,
There are
two things.
There are
two
common
things.
places for these, but people can move them.
Two things. Number one, Braxon, you know that the ship was certainly destroyed.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, it need not be the same ship. Could just be completely unrelated. And the reports of the Scavver were, give or take, 150 feet long.
Yeah.
So it's too big to be it. Okay.
Possibly.
Well, I was just thinking, because it's a ramming ship, that could be what's been hitting the other ship.
Yeah, unless they crashed on a murderoid and have tamed it. But that would be crazy.
Indeed.
So you're gonna make your way back to the watch with Alex.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'll say thanks for taking that other document. We haven't had time to hand that in, so if you can file that with the other part, we'd be most grateful.
Oh, certainly. I will. I will definitely do that. I will hand him in, and I will relay all the information that was
Yeah.
revealed with the underwriter to Duroth. Unfortunately, you find out when you get there that Duroth is not currently here. He is off on something else.
Okay. Then I'll say to Alex, would you recommend to
Duroth?
would you recommend to Derothras that you guys might want to tell your patrols to take care in that area, because we do think something dodgy is going on.
Certainly, but I can't imagine that they would attack guardsmen.
Yeah, it's not likely. If they're gonna attack anybody, it's gonna be us.
No, it's not. It's not likely. But if they're up to no good and your watch spot anything, it could be useful evidence in a future case against them.
He nods and says that he'll take that under advisement.
Thank you very much. Have a great evening.
Okay.
By the way, it must be the next day because after we left the warehouse, we went to the inn and Ockar went quote home,
Yeah,
and
you're right.
he was attacked and he came back the next morning.
Yep.
Yeah.
I didn't make clear enough notes in my notes about that. All right. So when Duroth spoke to him earlier, he was talking about what they discussed the previous day.
Yes.
All right. And now at this point, assuming that Higgimus, Lafdul, and Ockar have gone back to the inn, you guys could do the same, meet up and exchange information.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right. All right, so you guys get back to the inn, meet up, and discuss what your findings are. Now if you want to do some in-character discussion of what you discovered with the underwriters or with the commune spell, please go ahead and do that.
So
You're gonna have to remind me what this were.
So
What the questions
we
were.
went to talk with the priest, and they did a commune spell, and we figured out some interesting things, such as the Scavver is not a Scavver at all, apparently. So it is a ship of some kind. We asked if it was a spelljamming vessel, and it said yes.
Right.
Not surprised.
We asked about the house that we're working with and the house that he had originally suspected to see if they were involved. Tyr said they weren't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Calhane was the one that hired you, and Yalar is the one that Calhane initially suspected.
And what were the other answers we got? Because I can't remember.
Okay.
They weren't written down.
Yeah, you might want to take notes of these. Since it just happened to you, I'm fine with letting you know, but I do highly recommend note-taking and stuff like that for things that your characters are supposed to remember. Because I'm not always going to tell you,
I'm taking notes right now on the notepad program.
All right, good. So the question, is Torlin involved with the giant Scavver attacks? The answer was unknown. Is Torlin involved in the attacks on his own ship and the ship of House Calhane? Yes. Is House Yalar involved in the attacks? No. Is the thing attacking the ships a giant Scavver? No. Is the thing attacking the ships a spelljamming ship? Yes. Is the ship attacking involved in piracy? Unknown. Did the helmsman know the attack was coming? This was the helmsman of the Torlin ship. And that was unknown. Have we already met the person who ordered the attacks? This was a little bit unclear. It was yes-ish. There was a little bit more to that than just that. So the... 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 the take for that from that as you will. And
Okay.
did Calhane order the attacks on the ships? No.
Interesting that we got a sort of have met the person who ordered the attacks. I wonder if some of us have met that person and not all of us.
That's possible. Yeah, I wrote down all the answers that weren't unknown, except for like one of them for the answers that we got, because those seemed like the most important ones, because the ones that were unknown, I didn't feel like we needed those.
Well, so
No, the unknown ones are useful.
yeah, the unknown one. I will tell you that the unknown ones, that being unknown is useful, because what that means is that it's not a hard and fast yes or no. Either there's an element that you asked that was not specific enough, or perhaps there's an element that you're taking for granted as true that is not in your question. So keep those in mind. So
Well, I'll tell you what I have written down. I have Scavver as a spelljamming vessel. Calhane and Yalar are not involved. Torlin is involved with the ship attacks. Unknown as pirate. Hillsbeen, unknown if knew about attack. And yes, if we met the person who ordered the attacks. Those seem like the most important the ones you listed.
okay.
There's a big discrepancy there for me. There's wherever you talk to people about House Torlin, they're telling us how friendly and how nice those people are, and how helpful they are, and all we've seen is just about the contrary to that. So I wonder whether there's something wrong within House Torlin.
I think it's more that he puts on a kind of persona when he's interacting with people, when it's not this private evil business. When he's interacting with the other houses or with other people, he acts like a kind and gentle person, but in reality, he's just freaking evil or something.
I kind of agree with Leva that it does seem a little strange that everybody's always saying how nice and helpful this person is, but yet every interaction we've had with them has been terrible. Even in the beginning when we were non-conspicuous. So I think it's just worth keeping an eye out for, to see if there's anything that might be connected to that.
You see, yes, I agree. People can play games and can play act in public, but the others are so unanimous in what they say about House Torlin and their people that I feel I feel there's something wrong there.
Well, we'll know what it is when we figure out more information. I'm just telling you what I learned from my god, so I trust his answers right now.
Yeah, but you see, they could, even if we know that they're involved in all of this, they could still be forced. Maybe something's happened, and they're being blackmailed.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I was thinking maybe he set up for his own ship to be attacked, and then the person who attacked the ship for him is blackmailing him.
Wasn't there that one answer that your priest guy says was unclear?
There were several that he said was unclear.
Well, I mean
that he was involved.
That he was involved, but there was something more to it.
Yeah.
That might be it. He might be being blackmailed or something.
Or there might be somebody controlling him.
Yes. That too.
Not unheard of. There is such thing as mind control magics.
Well, the best bet I can think of is that we either get more overt with our investigations into him, or we wait until we deal with the giant Scavver and see if there's any evidence on there to point towards anything.
That's what I was
Yeah.
thinking. I was thinking that the only place left is to find on the giant Scavver. And I've been thinking about what type of... I don't know much about spelljamming ships, but I figured it's got to be a spelljamming ship with a ram of some sort.
Braxon, what
maybe.
did you find out?
Well, we've gone to the watch, and they were kind enough to give back the document that we gave to them. And we took that and the other document, and we went over to the underwriter. And the underwriters checked the records. They are definitely lying about what they claimed. But we can't really tell if this is just a case that they've been robbed and they've decided to take advantage of the situation by claiming that they lost more than they did, or whether they actually set up the whole thing in the first place. We've given the copy we made of both documents to the underwriting company, and we've given the original documents to the watch, and it's possible we'll get a reward if anything happens from either side, but we can't really prove anything at the moment, so we need to look out for more evidence if we manage to get to that ship.
That shouldn't be too hard.
Yeah.
The real
I mean,
question is how many able-bodied fighters are we going to find on that ship? On the ship
Yeah.
that's coming with us and our crew that we have?
Yeah.
Because I feeling it's going to come to a boarding party situation.
Yeah. I mean, we also need to discuss with the ship regarding what our strategy is going to be, because obviously they're looking after their cargo, so it could be that we board the ship and they flee the area, or it could be that we both attack, or we both run away.
Considering that the ship is about 150 feet long,
Yeah.
I have no idea how wide, because we never really got that description.
No, but if it looks like a Scavver, we can kind of guess.
Yeah.
And we could just if it's a ship disguised to look like a Scavver,
It's probably through some sort of illusion magic with maybe a Scavver figurehead ram.
Yeah.
Is what I'm thinking, because it's got to have a ram. The way that the other two attacks are described from the survivors is that the ship hit the other ship. So
Yeah.
the Scavver ran into the other ship, so it's got to be a ram.
They seem to like ramming the keels of other ships to break them.
Yeah.
So we're aware of that. We can make the captain of the ship we're guarding aware of that, and we can try and counter their strategy.
Also note that before there was no such, because they were successful in the ramming, they did not fire anything. So we do not know what type of weapons they have. They could have cannons, they could have ballista, they could have catapults, we don't know.
Yeah.
Might be best to do a boarding action in that case.
Yeah.
I take our abilities versus anybody's any day.
We'd have to disable their ramming capability first. So they could just ram our ship
boarding.
board.
Well, not necessarily, because when you board a ship, we have those harpoon things. We can harpoon them basically, and then tie a ship to theirs in such a way that they can't turn and ram our ship.
Yeah, just as a rule point, you cannot ram another ship that is in the same hex as you, and you have to be in the same hex in order to board. So once you get into the same hex as the other ship, they can't ram you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
the problem we're going to get
to range.
Yeah.
Now,
the problem we get is as we approach them, they have a chance to try to ram us, and we have a chance to try to board them. And
ramming has to be in a straight line, right? So as long as we avoid the front of the ship, we maneuver around it so they don't hit us directly in the front of the ship.
yeah.
If we get close enough to them, though, yeah, they won't be able to engage a ramming maneuver. Just from the fact of you have to build up speed for that and everything.
We don't know. We don't know.
How many hexes do we?
Go on.
How many hexes do they need to ram?
Just one.
Okay.
How much area is a hex?
500 yards.
I'm gonna start using 500 yards instead of hexes.
Yeah.
So yeah, if we can get within 500 yards, I would say we're in good shape.
The reason is because we are going to be using the tactical hex grid map when.
Yeah, but in conversation.
Oh wait,
Yeah, that's
Lafdul
fine.
is here, right?
Yeah.
Where's Lafdul here or not?
He should be with you.
I'm here.
He's just being quiet. Maybe he's
Okay,
planning
I'm
something.
wondering if he was meeting with us in the inn or something.
Braxton,
No.
do you know, and do you have any ideas of what kind of ship this could be?
No, well, we
You seem to know
know,
quite a few different ships.
we know there was talk that oh, by the way, the captain of the Paper Wasp has been found dead. The captain of the Paper Wasp. And we know it's not a squid ship because that's too long. So it's a matter of going through the ships and seeing which ones are of the kind of range of 150 yards.
I
We
still
can
think
narrow
it
down
might
to
be.
that.
I still think it might be a one of those gnome contraption ships.
Could be.
But who
I mean, it
knows?
could be.
I find it highly unlikely that they would use something that's unreliable. I've heard the stories of how unreliable gnome stuff can be. So,
Yeah, you'd be surprised how often they work, though.
they still can fail, and I'd rather not risk it.
But they might be willing to risk it.
How many days left do we have until we have to do this again?
All right, it's day
Well-
6. The Calhane ship is coming in tomorrow. Then they're going to spend 2 days resupplying, restocking, and loading up their cargo, and they'll be leaving on the 9th day. So
Okay, so we have 3 days.
2 full free days, and then the 3rd day is and the rest of today, and then whatever time before they leave on the 9th day. Yeah. So
Have
We
we
could go
already
down. Sorry.
have we already squirreled away all of our things like the crew, gotten that taken care of?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I just want to make sure all the stuff. Our ship is ready to go, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to
Oh,
make sure
yeah.
that's done.
What's the docking fees here, anyways? By the way, because we're gonna have to pay them when we come back.
It's not that bad. We'll address it when you come back. That's a couple sessions away
Okay.
at least, anyway. So.
Yeah. Well, a typical gnomish side wheeler, by the way, is about 120 foot long. So it could be one with a bit stuck on the end. A dragon ship is about 150 foot long.
Is it does it have a ram?
Well, you can always modify ships to add rams.
Yeah, but rams are generally pretty long, at a long addition to the front of the ship. So we're
Not
probably
necessarily.
looking at a.
Not necessarily.
Yeah,
Okay.
sometimes they're part of the bulkhead itself.
Yeah.
And depends on if they're piercing rams or blunt rams.
Well, what type of ram do you think it is from the description?
It's breaking the keel, so it's hard to say. I mean, the people we've seen who are the weaknesses have fled the scene. So if we had people who'd stayed behind and repaired the ship who'd survived, then they might be able to tell you what sort of damage was done. But it's hard. If we could see the destroyed ships, we might be able to tell. But
That's good.
it'd be a guess.
So from the description, let's assume it's more of a blunt force ram, because unless it is like some sort of enormous contraption that's shaped like a Scavver that can clamp down. Which could be possible, I suppose, and that's how they're able to sell the giant Scavver so well.
Yeah, I suppose someone could make jaws like a Scavver. It's probably possible to have some sort of mechanical thing.
Possibly.
Well, that could, that might remind you of the cone ram of the lamprey ship.
Yeah.
How big is
Yeah.
that?
Let's see. Brax is racking his head to remember this. It, otherwise known as looking for the ship recognition manual.
I don't know. Aren't they about the same size as a squid ship? Almost.
I don't think they're that long. There's the squid ships have a substantial amount that's the ram and the tail.
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking without the body itself is about the same size.
Yeah, I mean the squid ship. I suppose you could disguise the actual ram, make it invisible or something. Let's see. A lamprey ship is usually 115 foot long.
So not quite long enough.
Yeah, but I mean, if they're using an illusion, the illusion could make the ship seem slightly bigger.
That is true.
And if they want to make a ship look like a Scavver, and they're creating an illusion of a Scavver, they might need the Scavver to actually be tall enough and wide enough to hide the various fins and sails of the ship inside it.
Yeah.
So we're possibly not going to find out till we see it.
Oh, it's just that we can, with a few, if we have a general idea of what kind of ships it could be, we can have
Yeah.
a general idea of the layout of said ships and where the helm possibly could be.
That's true. If we could work out what sort of ship it was, there's usually standard places that people mount things like the helm. But in the example of our own ship, we've reconfigured the internals to suit our own liking, and there are plenty of people that do that.
The helm is still in the same spot, so it's safe.
It doesn't have to be. The helm
Doesn't
can
have
go
to
anywhere.
be.
Yeah, you can put the helm
Yeah.
anywhere you want.
That's what I'm saying. If someone is a pirate and they know there's a specific weakness in the design of the ship, in the placement of the helm, that makes it harder to defend from boarding actions, they might choose to put the helm in a more secure place. They might also have a backup helm.
You could
if
bolt it
they've-
to the bottom of the ship if you want.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah,
saying that
like
would be a
that's-
good idea.
Yeah, because then somebody could take a well-aimed shot at the helmsman.
Exactly.
But it is possible is the point. I know. I have a general idea, but like I said, I've lived on Faerun most of my life. Or it's Toriel is the continent, is the landmass, right?
Toril is the
whole
world.
planet.
Faerun is the continent.
Yeah, okay. I've lived on Toriel most of my life. So I don't know much about the spell jamming stuff.
Yeah, I mean, from what I've heard of people from your crystal sphere, you've got some places that use flying ships. So it could.
The Elven Imperial Navy has quite the
No, there's
Halrua.
yeah.
and they also
So-
have a school there too.
All that Yeldin would know about Halrua is that they're a southern nation of wizards that have, or supposedly have, flying ships.
Well, it's
Yeah.
not just Harua though; it's also the Chinese type people who live there. I can't remember.
Oh,
what
yeah,
they're
yeah.
called.
Yeah,
So
everyone's heard of the show long.
Halrua doesn't have spelljamming ships. They have flying ships. That's the
Oh, so
one.
they're like the ships and they're like the flying ships of Eberron's got it. Kind of. That's totally two different places, but I got it.
Yeah. I do not know this Eberron of which you speak.
Anyways,
So, I mean, you guys have exchanged your information, met up, done some discussions. What's the next plan?
Open the
think-
pouch.
I think we should. I think one of the most pressing things right now, we should try to find a way to bring Torland to justice in any way we can. I don't.
I don't think we can. I don't think it's in our.
Anyway, my character remarks.
At this point, I don't care about the methods involved as long as we bring him to justice.
Well, it's
think
quite
so.
a dangerous thing because I think the only way you're going to find anything is by sneaking in their stately home.